Be sure to unplug your SuperC before removing the cover or performing any maintenance.
In a previous video, we showed you how to remove the cylinder from the block. In this video, we'll show you how to disassemble the cylinder and replace the O-rings inside. This is the most common type of maintenance you will need to perform on your SuperC, and you'll need to do it several times throughout the life of the product. Proper lubrication will ensure the longest life of your seals possible, and should allow you to get about 100 hours of runtime before you need to do a preventative seal rebuild. To access the inside of the cylinder, we need to remove this black nut, and then this steel fitting as well. We'll start with the steel fitting and take a look at the back check valve located in this side of the cylinder. To access the back check valve, we'll use a 13/16 wrench to hold the cylinder. A 9/16 wrench will allow us to take off this fitting. This fitting is one of the fittings in the system which requires Teflon tape. As you remove it, you'll notice the Teflon tape has moved and will need to be replaced before remounting the fitting. With the fitting removed, we now have access to the back check valve. The back check valve consists of a spring, a brass poppet, and an O-ring in the face. To replace this O-ring, we need to pop the O-ring out and push a new one into its place. Removing the old O-ring is easiest done with some sort of pin, like a safety pin or needle. This tool is often sold for clay sculpture at art supply stores and makes the job pretty easy. Pushing the pin into the O-ring, we can then pop it out. The replacement O-rings are to be found inside your O-ring super kit that was provided with your SuperC system. Inside are a series of O-rings, and the O-ring that we're looking for in particular is a 1/8 inch white urethane O-ring. When installing the replacement O-ring, it's helpful to add a drop of the coconut oil we use to lubricate the rest of the system, and then press it down into the face of the poppet. It's also important to make sure that this presses in flat to make sure that the sealing surfaces mate and the back check will do its job. Sometimes just pushing it on a table will make sure it seats nice and evenly. Once your O-ring is in and flush, remount the spring, drop the back check back inside, apply fresh Teflon tape to this fitting, and retighten. Now that we've rebuilt the back check valve, we can switch to the other end of the cylinder and replace our two compression O-rings. To gain access to those O-rings, we need to remove this fitting using a 5/8 inch wrench. And then remove the spacers and O-rings using the O-ring tool provided with your SuperC. First is the large spacer, then the first O-ring. Next is the small spacer, and the last O-ring. With the old O-rings removed, we can add our new O-rings. We'll be using two of the same 1/8 inch white urethane O-rings we used in the back check, and just like the back check, we're going to add a drop of coconut oil to each O-ring. Working in the reverse order that we took them out, we'll put in one O-ring, seating it with either the long spacer or the O-ring tool used backwards. Next comes the small spacer and the second O-ring. The big spacer will seat everything into place, and we can tighten this nut back down, completing our rebuild. This doesn't need to be particularly tight, snug will do. Now that we've rebuilt our O-rings, we can reinstall the cylinder and do the same for the lower cylinder. This is Chris with OCO Labs. Thanks for watching.